Hi, this is Stephanie Stevenson, otherwise known as Watercolor Artiste in social media circles, and I'm the artist of MidLiferartist.com. And I'd like to welcome you to an impromptu live stream. I've been known to only live stream on Wednesday nights. However, due to recent events, I received an announcement that I have been received back into the Rumble Creator Program, and the requirements that they have set for Rumble creators have increased since the last time I was in, and that was as of yesterday. And so if I thought the initial requirements were tough for such a small channel as I have, the new requirements are even tougher. So I don't know why they did that, other than I am thinking that they're trying to make it harder for people to stay in the program, which I can understand. But if the model is to help create content and make it monetarily valuable for creators, they shouldn't make it so hard, especially for us midlifers to do it. I'm testing out a new feature that I did last night, testing from OBS. See if that, it works. Not sure why my YouTube one isn't working. So I'm going to see if I can pop out that chat one more time and get that to work. Hopefully it'll show up. And if it doesn't, that's okay too. So if you're out there and you're watching, please drop a hello, a like, a thumbs up, something in the chat to let me know you're there. That would be really, really cool. And we'll go from there. I'm not sure why the YouTube one isn't working, but that's okay. So yeah, so I'm here to talk about the Rumble Creator Program. I am nowhere near being close to reaping monetary benefits from YouTube. Such a much larger platform, and I'm just too small a channel to even think about doing the monetary stuff on YouTube. And every time I think, all I have to do is figure out the algorithm and then adapt and evolve, they change the algorithm and then I have to try to refigure it out. And I just, some of us just don't have that kind of patience. And when you're a one-woman show, like me, for the most part, I do get some assistance from my husband, who will every now and then jump in and help me out, especially on Wednesday nights, which is my official night. But I'm going to be putting up more content. I'm hoping to try to figure out some more stuff to do, keep me going with my artistic endeavors, which would help me build up my body of work. So if you've never heard of me or you're new, I have to throw my ticker up there for a moment. I started doing art in earnest when I turned 50. And so I've been going now for 4 years. I have come a long way. So if you watch my earliest videos to my current videos, you will see that I have made progress, even in this whole digital sphere as a content creator, which is a huge learning curve. That bell curve is just, so yeah, I'm a little stressed with all the stuff I've got to learn. I just recently learned how to do this chat feature with socialstream.ninja that allows for you to consolidate your chat windows. And so, yeah, I'm hoping, oops, where am I going here? Maybe I need to go this way. All right, well, let me see about, I don't know why my, reload. And then I'm not seeing my YouTube one come through. If someone's out on YouTube, just drop a hello in the chat so I can see if it's going to show up or not. But if you're not there, that's okay too. My YouTube stuff is much slower than my Rumble. That's why I do focus all my efforts on Rumble, because they give me a chance. But anyway, I don't. This is not my. This is. I'm not following a normal script like I do for my Wednesday night live streams. Um, but I have, I spent the last week really ramping up for last night's live stream on my channel, which was where I got to host a celebrative live stream for my art group out over there on True Social called the Arts Collective, and that went well considering all the stuff I had to learn and pull together. So I was I'm pretty happy how it turned out. Could it have been better? Yeah, but then again, when you work a full-time job, you still have to maintain a house. You have to take care of animals. You have to do all that, and then try to make artwork and do digital content. You just, 24 hours in a day, could maybe use 25, 26, whatever. So I make the most of it. And sometimes I sleep, but anyway, I figured what I would do tonight, since I thought I'll just show you the requirements that Rumble Creator Program requires of creators who go into the program. Now, they don't require, it's not like they, pull you in and say, you must do this, otherwise you're off of Rumble. That's not the way it works. If you want to try to make more money on Rumble, then you have to aspire to reach a certain minimum follower count. I forget, there's two requirements in order to apply for the creator program, and then they will let you know if you're in or not. And then when you're in, you have to hit certain levels in order to maintain status and or be qualified for receiving some sort of monetary value. Again, I haven't gotten that far to know what it all means. This is a lot of work, and I hope it's not for $5 for a whole month. I have no idea. Anyway, nothing ventured, nothing gained. But let me just show you a quick, simple slide. Last time I was in the creator program, I had to have 25 unique chatters in my live stream chats. And I barely, I think, got to 10, maybe. Now it's 75. If I need to do 5 unique raids to other live streams, which is the same as the last time. 30 hours of live streaming through Rumble Studio, that's the same as last time. Rumble Premium content. So I do have to do 5 hours for the month of Rumble Premium content, which is behind the paywall. And so tonight I will do my first hour free and then switch my second hour to Rumble Premium if it works, and try to get at least one of those 5 hours done. And then the next one is 500 hours viewed. What that means is how many people are watching my content. If I get 500 hours viewed in the month of July, then I will have met that requirement. And then 30 shorts per month or more. So those are the requirements that I need to hit for the month of July in order for me to stay in the program. Otherwise, I fall out of the program and have to wait for the next opportunity. So that is that is the situation with what I'm trying to do. And I want to make a go of it. I want to see what it's about. This is the best chance that I have as a small channel content creator with my artistic endeavors to make any kind of passive income online. YouTube is just so far up there. I think YouTube, you have to have a minimum of 1,000 subscribers before you can even, hope and pray that you get whatever. I'm at 53 followers on YouTube. So there's no point in putting energy towards YouTube for me at this time. I do this on a part-time basis. There's just no way. So anyway, I don't mean to just rant and rave, but this is the kind of thing I'm looking at. I'm looking at, how do I manage my time as it's part-time for this? How do I manage that for against time to create art in situations like this? And of course, doing this, I should be creating art at the same time, which of course I will. But I went the long story instead of the short story, but I wanted you to know what I was up against and how I'm trying to tackle it. So I gotta get better at creating shorts from some of my long form content. I'm hoping to maybe find some interesting bloopers, because Lord knows I probably have a boatload of those in my learning curve for for this digital thing. Anyway, so I got to do some more learning, but I'll get there. So anyway, let me show you. Do I have my webcam? I don't. Hold on. I'm going to add video capture device and webcam. Okay. And then I'm going to, that way, I meant to do this before I went live, but this is impromptu, as it were. So bear with me as I make this, so that way you can see me. Oops, hello. Yeah, that's gonna work, Stephanie. Try this again. Yeah, this is me learning as I go. Hands on, everybody, hands on. And then we make me real small. All right, so you can see, I think I'll put me down here. Maybe I'll make me a little smaller because, gosh, you don't need to see me, but probably good that we do. We'll do that. Okay, so I got palette cam going because I'm working on this Zentangle. I set it aside for the last week because I was doing a lot of prep work for last night's live stream for the group. And I talked about this before on a previous Wednesday night live stream, not this past Wednesday, but the Wednesday maybe before, I think. And I was showing you some of my initial color ideas for this bigger. This is the big piece. It's 11 by 14. And then these are just small practice sheets. And so I started off doing it this way. I really liked the sunset kind of background that's kind of around the sunflower and the ladybug. I like that, but I was doing this with Inktense pencils, which is not as forgiving as watercolor. So I did this just to see. Again, this was Inktense pencils. And then I did another practice sheet where I still kind of did a sunset, but I didn't do enough of the blue there. I thought maybe if I did the sunset over here that transitioned to a dark sky, that would be around, of course, the reference to Star Trek over here. So kind of a space with stars and such. One of the things I do like is this part here, the musical notes. Let me see if you can see here. I'll get you down here further. You can see. But yeah, these musical notes, I like that, and I'm going to keep that for sure. But I'm not sure about the green here on the bigger music bar. Again, the Inktense pencils came in too dark on the Ring of Power. I got tribbles everywhere that I need to figure out what, I got a ladybug in mid-flight and a snake. I like this snake better than this snake. So yeah. Again, I use the Inktense pencils on the practice. It's going to give me a different look using actual watercolors, which I have here. Let me just, you can see. Got shadows galore going on. So yeah, there's some successfulness here. In other areas, I'm not sold on the big music bar being green, but I didn't have a lot of green in there. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. So some of it I'm undecided, but I've decided that tonight while I'm painting that I would just go with it. So I'm going to go with it. I'm using Cotman, Winsor Newton Cotman Travel watercolors. I got regular watercolors, but sometimes it's just easier to use the travel set on such a small desktop for this kind of thing. And I'm just going to layer in some color, the things that I know I want. I'm going to put in here, and this is not necessarily on watercolor paper, so I have to be careful not to get the paper too saturated, otherwise it'll really start to buckle. And then and get this sunflower. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. So I got a sunflower, and all this, if you don't know what a Zentangle is, a Zentangle is where you take a design, a doodle or whatever. It's really a form of doodling for more of a therapeutic reason than anything else. And I do find it therapeutic, although I start to sweat sometimes about, I'm lifting some of the color. Unlike ink tense pencils, watercolor is more forgiving. So you can see I'm kind of just layering in. It's just not even, I'll raise it up a little bit because it seems like it's not focused very well. But yeah, I'm tackling this without, I'm trying not to get the paper too terribly wet, because it'll buckle pretty badly. So what I'm doing is I'm blocking in color in the areas that I know that I'm happy with the color choice. And then I will hem and haw. You get to watch me hem and haw about what I do next. So if you are a fan of watercolor, or or you're doing something different, drop a comment in the chat and let me know how it goes for you. I'm gonna get some yellow ochre and red to kind of give me this orange look. I'm gonna try to pull some orange in. Don't want it completely orange though. I don't know if I like that. And that's why I like watercolor, because if I don't like it, I can lift it right back up. So yeah, I'm going to take some yellow ochre and do the middle of this sunflower. And the yellow ochre on this Winsor Newton Cotman, thought I had oops, I had the webcam up there. There we go. The Winsor and Newton Cotman yellow ochre is not as transparent as the other colors, and so you have to be careful. So I'm getting some color that I like in here. Yeah, and I'm sorry about this, but I want you guys to be able to see a little bit closer. Is it even focused? There you go. Trying to make sure. And let's see. What else do I know? I want I want Pac-Man to be Pac-Man. So he's going to be yellow. There we go. I'm just going to get a blocking in of yellow on him. And again, I'm not getting this too terribly wet because I don't want this paper to buckle as bad as it would if this was saturated. And it will saturate if I'm not careful, and then it'll really start to buckle. So I'm getting a nice yellow on Pac-Man here. So I'm actually using more paint than water in the brush. Watercolor is about water control and technique. So if you're a little intimidated by watercolor, don't be, because it's not that bad. It really isn't. I'm trying to get a brownish color for the handle on this hammer. Hammer time. Yeah. So this T is a hammer with the letters MC etched in it. So you get the the pun. And if you know my husband, then you know he is the master of puns, and it was his idea, and I liked it. So there you have it. Let's see here. I also have an a peanut butter cookie for the C. And so I'm going to I gotta be careful about how I do that, because I think the ink that I was using is not as permanent on that for some reason. I wonder why. Let's see. How can I do this? I think instead of dragging the paintbrush over the cookie, I'm going to just dab at it. So it's not the best peanut butter cookie. Trying to render a peanut butter cookie in ink on non-watercolor paper, and then come in and do, God bless you, watercolor over it. That's not going to be so successful. I might have to take and do colored pencil on that. That's okay. So the other thing I'm doing here is I got the Ring of Power. There's some movie and TV references in here, and video game, as you can see. But this is a Zentangle of the Arts Collective, which is the name of the not Facebook group, but the True Social group that I co-moderate. And I got some Kuretake glittery type watercolors, and I'm going to paint that Star Trek communicator in gold. I'm going to get that started here. And it may not come across on the live stream because it's very, very light, and of course the glitter may not come across at all, but we will see how it goes. I'll try not to get the ink to smudge. I don't want smudging of this ink. It's supposed to be steadfast, or I thought it was, but maybe it's not. So that's going to make this very, very challenging, at least to do in watercolor. It may be that I have to switch over to colored pencil, which frankly, I'm not as comfortable with. I don't do colored pencil as well as other things. So I am going to try to get some all variations of gold here. And again, this is more paint than water to get a sense of this metal that makes the communicator is sort of like rounded. So that's what I'm kind of trying to do here without getting the paper too wet. Yeah, I'm yeah. Trying to see if I can't get a Yep. It's still too much of a... There you go. There we go. If you're in the chat at all, please drop a hello. I'm just going to check and see if things are connected here. I can't tell if they are or not because I don't have anyone dropping a hello or a thumbs up. It is a slow night. I get it. Okay. That's all right. All right. So that's a little, and what I have is I got these tribbles. If you're not familiar with Star Trek, then this won't make much sense to you, but there was an episode on the original Star Trek series called The Trouble with Tribbles. And if you've never heard of that, that's okay. A lot of people don't. But they, I gotta be very careful with the snake too, don't I? A lot of ink in that snake. All right. Let's go to this ring and see what we can do with it. Try not to drag too much paint around. I'm trying to keep the bar of music white because it's coming through the ring. But I also want to introduce color over the notes because the color over the notes, it would remind you of Close Encounters of the Third Kind. If you watch that movie, it's a classic from, I think it's the 70s. If I'm not mistaken. But if not, definitely the 80s. But I'm pretty sure that it was 70s. And I love that movie. And so the notes are the communication notes. And then on my practice run, I have the colors from the movie when the color bar, when they played these notes. And so I'm highlighting those notes with that kind of color. So that is the plan. Let's see. I'm going to do... There. I love the shimmering effect. I wish you guys could see it. And maybe if I do take palette cam down, you'll be able to see how that goes. Let's see here. I'm going to try to get a hammer color here. So if you're not familiar with Close Encounters of the Third Kind, then look it up on IMDb, and then look up on maybe YouTube the scene where they're trying to communicate with the alien ship. And then you'll know, trying to indicate through the color and shading of these colors a ring. Let's see here. I'm hoping I'm trying not to drag the paintbrush across so it doesn't. This is definitely where I want to take the paper towel bit and lift up some of the color. This is rope that makes, you know, a letter C over here. And it's fraying as it's bending. So yeah, if you're in the chat, hey Ray, hey, and it works. I adopted the chat feature uh, in my personal live stream because I love it. But yeah, I'm working on my Zentangle tonight. And because I had set it down for a while, and I'm using watercolor, but part of it is, I guess the ink that I used to ink this is not as steadfast and permanent as I thought it would be. So I am actually struggling with this, like the cookie. I started to color in the cookie, and it is not working out well. So, all right then. And then I want to get a purple for the edges of my Pac-Man pathway. Of a more of a mauvey, like I'm saying it with a Massachusetts accent, mauve, but no, mauve, like mauve color. Now this is kind of what I wanted for this color, so that's good. I'm very careful with my brushes, then it'll work out. So, how you doing, Ray? You got storms at all? We've had pop-up storms, but thankfully they have gone around us to the north or to the south, mainly to the south. So they threaten to come upon us, and then at the last minute they go around. Thank goodness. Otherwise, live streaming would be a lot more difficult. Let's see here. I can't seem to get. I can't seem to get the YouTube to work on the chat, or I don't think I can. Not showing up. I don't know why that is. So I'm gonna pop that out and hit refresh on my thing and see what happens. Reload and see if that works. Who did I see? Who did I see? Hey, hey there. I didn't see you come in, so you're not in the, not sure why it's not showing up. So I'm gonna keep that window open. Sometimes I figure it out, sometimes I don't. I don't understand. Did I pop up? Yeah, I'm doing an impromptu live stream. uh, you're the only one in the Rumble chat, Ray, that I can do that with at the moment. I'm trying to see if I can't. Let's see here. All right. Anyway, I'm going to try to keep you open over here. I don't know why I can't see. Thank you. Thank you very much, honey. But yeah, I don't. You guys weren't in the outset here, but I showed these last, not yesterday, obviously, but the live stream before, and this was my test runs for this. I showed them in the True Social group, anyway, and I like the background sky of this. I just didn't like the effect of the Inktense pencils. And I thought maybe I would move the sunset over here and have it turn to nighttime on this side of the Pac-Man thing, so that over here it's this dark nighttime sky with white stars, kind of like space right next to the Starfleet communicator and tribbles. So a kind of a sky effect that goes from sunset all the way to nighttime. And then I did this as a second go around, and I'm not sure if I'm won over by the green of the big music bar, but I didn't have a lot of green in this at all, so I didn't know if I should go with green or not there. I like a green snake, but it doesn't seem to read very well, so I went with this kind here. So I don't know what you guys think about these two. Again, with watercolor, it's going to come across differently. And then I love this. This I'm definitely married to, so to speak, this music bar, because this is the 5 notes of communication between the humans and the alien ship on Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And I used the colors in the light bar that they had, as well as the musical notes. So anyone who plays music would be able to recognize these notes, and if they watch the movie, they would recognize the tempo and the notes. So yeah. So we got a nod to Star Trek. We got a nod to Lord of the Rings with the Ring of Power. We've got Pac-Man, and we got Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And then I have text here for the literary, for authors, people who write. I got books kind of stacked in between the letters with a little apple here, very little apple, and a tribble reading a book. And this is supposed to be a peanut butter cookie. That's not coming across very well. But anyway, those were my ideas. I was just using Inktense pencils to do it from the recliner, and I have to say I can't get the hang of Inktense pencils, because they're not as forgiving as watercolor. And so yeah, I don't know. So I'm trying, whatever I do on this tonight, this is the original. So I'm doing it tonight. And what I lay down and I don't pick back up is what it's going to be. But I'm trying to really be a little heavy-handed there. I love watercolor because you can pick it right back up. Hey, Crazy Bear, you made it back onto the thing. He's been busy on his stuff. I told him he didn't have to be in the live stream tonight to help me. This is me putting my time in for the Rumble Creator Program. And so technically on the Rumble Creator Program, the requirements are actually more than what they were when I first was on it before I fell out of the program. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make it this time, but I'm going to give it the good old college try and see what happens. But it's not easy for small creators. So I'm gonna try, but Mm. Now, this has actually got these letters here, V and E. They actually have collaged paper on them pasted. So I don't know how the collage paper is going to react to the watercolor. I'll try to get the palette cam down for let's see. I gotta put some red on this ladybug. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, you guys can see this. I can't get the YouTube to show up on my little chat feature, but you can see the communicator is painted in the shimmery and the Kiritaki gold color, and you can see the shimmer to it. Same with the ring of power, but you can see that. My Oreo cookie, not Oreo, my peanut butter cookie didn't, it started to mix with the ink. The ink I was using is apparently not permanent, so I'm having troubles. But you can see my little Tribble, he's reading a book. And see my book stacked, my little apple I haven't colored yet. So this is my ode over here, these images to our writers and authors in the group. And this is a diver diving off of a diving board into a V-shaped pool. So I got Pac-Man. Like I said, the snake has got a lot of ink in it, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I like the coloration on the snake that I got here instead of the coloration of the snake on here. But with the ink reacting to the water, I'm not sure how this is going to go. Oh. There we go. Palette cam adjustment activated. Where's my, there she goes. What's written inside the ring? I really wish you could come across. Kim in YouTube said, "What's written across the ring?" It's just gibberish because it's in the Elvish language. So I'm not sure. I was just kind of adopting the same kind of script style, but I have no idea. It probably is gibberish, but it would probably be that one ring to rule them all from the Lord of the Rings thing, and it glows, when it comes close to, fire or something. I don't know, but I thought that would, it would be a good reference. I got, entertainment references all over the place here. But yeah, oh my gosh. At first when I started this Zentangle, I wasn't sure if I was going to like it or how I was going to do it. And I'm not displeased. I kind of like how it turned out in terms of the black and white imagery anyway. But I don't want to mess it up with colors, because once I put the color on, it's in, I mean, with watercolor, at least you have a little bit of a grace period before it really sets. But yeah, I guess I'm kind of doing an ode to the 70s and 80s and 90s with some of this imagery to kind of represent the maybe average or mean age of the group. Inside the ring if lost, call. Yeah. my gosh. What color should I make this vase, you think? All right. There. Because I'm not sure what color vase I want to make it. You know what I mean? I don't know. Let's get some water here. Because we have a little pool with a little diver. You can't even see that because it's so small, so I apologize. I'm trying to. I'll have to get the palette cam down again. I guess I was being too light, too gentle with my layers here. And then we'll lift some of this back up because it's water. Bluish green with white reflecting highlights. Oh, well, maybe. Maybe I do that. I think the pool here has to have darker water down low, but it's too wet right now. It'll just lift up. All right. What color are tribbles? Are they like gremlins? You know, they're spotted and brown and white and all that stuff. Let's see. Maybe I'll go ahead and get my musical notes colored. This is like a reddish orange. Because I wanted to kind of get the hint of the colored light bar from the Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I like having these odes to my childhood, you know, where, you know, things that we grew up watching. All right, so there's 3 of those. Various shades of brown with a few white ones sprinkled in. Okay, gotcha. That would be for the tribbles. I'd highlight you, Kim, but it's not coming through on my thing like it did last night. I'm a little upset. I'm upset. Upset, I say. I still don't have, you know, background music. That's next up, if my computer can handle it, that is. If my computer can handle it, I will be doing background music. Or what I may do is play music on a different device nearby so it can play through but not take up resources from my active live streaming computer. But yeah. Huh. All right. We'll do that one and then this one. Again, I'm trying to do a light touch because I don't want the ink to mix with my yellow. That would not look good. That would not look good at all. Yeah, you've seen them pop up because I can do it from the Rumble side, but it's not picking you up in my on my OBS, my streaming software in the chat window. It's not picking you up, and of all the things that I thought it would do, it would pick you up because you're on YouTube, and it seems to do better with YouTube, but it is not doing it. I don't know why. So I got you up on a window so I can keep seeing you. Oh, bye. Bye, Ray. Thanks for dropping in, bud. Appreciate it. Yeah, so I'm kind of doing this just because, you know, I have to, and I'll show the requirements again. I have a little slide on that for the Rumble Creator Program. I'm trying to see what that avails me, if anything. You know, I don't know. It seems like a lot of work, and maybe it's meant for people who do this whole digital content thing as a full-time thing, and I don't have that ability. So we will see. I'm going to give it my best try. If you're inclined to help me out at all, then please watch more of my Rumble content for hours watched. They have an hours watched thing, which means my content is being viewed by people, and they're counting how long someone watches. I got to get up to 500 hours watched for the month of July. And it's like, oh, I'm not sure I'm going to get there. Excuse me. So, yeah, I don't know. But I'm going to try. Do what I can. And if it works, it works. And if it don't, it don't. And that's all right. And then I'll just know that I'm not going to apply again until I've grown more organically on my own. If I grow more organically on my own. Well, you could stand in the corner and hum, but I don't think that'll come across. You're such a dork, but I love you. Ah. All right. Trying to get a bright orange, not orange, but bright yellow, which would match Mr. Pac-Man. So yeah, these are reminiscent of the colors on that light bar from the movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Yes, sirree, Bob. And I don't know who Bob is, but yes, sirree. So there we go. So I got those colors in. Oh, my my thing keeps moving, like it keeps auto focusing. I'm sorry about that. Probably driving you guys to drink. Oh gosh, no, don't switch over, Kim. That's not necessary. You just do you, sweetheart. And YouTube's fine. This is about, you know, me learning the ropes, and that's what it's all about. It's me learning and me figuring it out, and that's okay. If I need you to do something, I will, but I will ask, but it's not necessary. I'm just putting time in tonight to get some time in, maybe catch the eye of a group of people to come in and raid the live stream. They probably will see that I'm too small of a channel, but who knows? Who knows? I love the little sign that the Tribble is holding here that says the Arts Collective. I'm doing pretty good at not saturating this paper too bad. So yeah, not bad at all. Let's see. We will do. I'm going to try to get some shading on this. All right, so I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do this snake. Maybe what I do is I start with my light colors and come in with the darks slowly. Let's see here. So this week, my son is in the process of moving to a new apartment, and he couldn't move in right away, and I have no idea why, because the apartment he was moving into, while it was officially under a rental agreement to the 7th or something, or I forget what it was. The person that it's being rented to prior to my son is not even in there. It's empty. But the apartment place said he couldn't move in until his start date on his. And I'm like, why? Why? I don't understand. So he's having to couch surf just this week while he waits for time to pass to get into his new place. It just drives me to drink. Well, not to drink, but So, but yeah, not a fan of that whole process. It would just have been easier if they would just have let him move in early. I have a feeling that maybe they didn't know how to prorate the difference of 1 week. So they said, no, we got to stick to their calendar on it. Maybe that's what it is. Let's see here. What I'm doing is creating a V. I'm not even following the scales. I'm giving it a pattern through color. And it still looks like a snake, so that works for me. Tomorrow is my first grandson's first birthday. He turns 1 tomorrow. And I'm hoping that I can connect with my son to have a maybe like a video chat where I can talk to my grandson on video, maybe. You know what I mean? I don't do Snapchat, yeah, but I would do like a Facebook video chat on the Facebook Messenger, I guess. That's pretty much where I have conversations with my boys anyway. Come on now. I'm trying to follow the contours of the snake's body, so it makes sense too. So that's kind of registering, huh? What color should I make the tall part of this R? What color should that be? I wonder. Touching it, just touching it and not raking the brush over the ink, I think helps keep it from being too smudgy. Orange. Okay, well, that's what I had before, so that makes sense. We will do orange. Well, this is, let me see if I can't yet. I really got thick paint on this. Thick paint. So yeah, I have, this is day one of a 5-day weekend. So, so with the Rumble Creator Program situation, I researched that a little bit. I'm trying to come up with a plan to maybe try to meet the requirements since, you know, I'm on day 2 of the month. And see where I go. So I spent some of the day there. Then I had to go to the chiropractor to get adjusted because, you know, got to straighten me out. That's what my husband says. Got to straighten her out. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, yeah. Well, you know, I don't know if I'm going to do that. I don't know. I do have an orange here. Maybe I take some of it up because it's, I think I'm going to add a little bit of sheen to my Pac-Man. What do you think? Yeah, I'm bouncing around. Gonna use some of this gold color. Put a little bit of sheen on him. I think that would be cool. So he kind of shimmers. Because Pac-Man, he's the best video game of the 80s, for goodness sakes. Is he not? Or could a case be made for Space Invaders? What I should have called this live stream is Ode to the 80s or Gen X, right? Oh, yeah. Tell me about it. I haven't done a lot of canning like I used to. I do miss canning a little bit, but I also can when there's sales, and there's not been a lot of sales. So I'm gonna give some colors to my tribbles. What color should the tribble be that's holding the sign? I'll show you guys. I'll bring it down low. I'll bring it down low so you can see. So I got tribbles right here. And you see the big one holding the sign. And I got a tribble flying off of the C strands going wee. And then I got a tribble that just jumped off of the nose of Pac-Man onto this peanut butter cookie. And then I got a tribble. He's not going to be very colorful because we got a book in front of him. And I had a tribble kind of facing, facing the viewer eating crumbs of the cookie, but it doesn't really register given all that action though. But you can see the snake, how it's coming out. And then let me show you the shimmer. At least, again, there's the shimmer there. Really comes across. I don't know if, yeah, Pac-Man's not dry yet, so. But yeah, there's my colors on the music. And this is more ink than color of rope, but it's okay. I gotta make a decision on the vase. Gotta color my books. I gotta make my water darker down at the deep end. And then I should try to do that background, like I said, the sky. That would be cool if I could manage that. Pinball. Now that's cool. Let's see here. There we go. Get you back up there. Pinball. I used to do pinball, but by the time I went anywhere, it was always the Pac-Man, Space Invaders. What's the third? There's another one, honey. What was that? I can count on you to remember. The third one that I know they had Mrs. Pac-Man, but I think Mrs. Pac-Man came in later. Let's see here. Trying to get more of that's more yellow than green, so let's get that green back in here. Centipede, Donkey Kong, asteroids. That's right. That's the one. Yeah. Yeah, I can count on you to remember all the stuff, honey. You've got like a repository of useless information, but you're so useful when I'm trying to think of it. So there you go. It's not useless. It's right where it needs to be in my husband's brain. Okay, I didn't play all of those. Is my screen showing up as not as clear? Is it like fuzzy? I'm just trying to figure out if it's my palette camera or if it's something else going on here. I was I was supposed to go over to Rumble Premium. I guess I could do that now. Let me go back to No, I think it's just I've got so many things moving. It's trying to figure out what to focus on. All right, so let me go back to this for a second. See, I got all the Rumble stuff. I can't seem to get the YouTube to work, and I don't know why. I'm trying. Let's see here. Let auto find and activate. All right then. Well, then what do you call this one? Auto activate. I'm trying to get it to activate. And it won't. Okay. All right. So this is what it's looking like so far. Gotta get over this way. There we go. So yeah, I'm getting there. You kind of have to layer it. But yeah, let me show you what it is. So Rumble requirements for the Rumble Creator Program to stay in it. So I have all of July to try to accomplish what you see on the screen. And that's I have to have 75 unique chatters per month. So if you're watching and not chatting, please just drop one comment in the chat for me, and you're counted as a unique chatter. If you haven't chatted in this chat before, drop a hi. And then you don't have to say another word. And that'll give me credit to the 75 unique chatters per month. So Kim, you might want to jump on Rumble and do hi, and it'll probably come out that way, and you would be counted as one of my unique chatters. So, you know, maybe do that, but keep your YouTube window open or something. And Crazy Bear, you are unique, but once you chat once, you're counted. So I got to get 75 unique chatters. So hopefully I'll get a couple of raids this month. The other thing I got to do is raid other live streams. I got to do 5 of those. That should be easy enough with some of these live streams. I got a live stream using Rumble Studio, which is what I'm doing. 30 hours for the month. So I do have, that's why I'm doing tonight's live stream and not just sticking to my Wednesday ones because I need to add more content if I want to try to do this Rumble Creator Program. So I'm going to give it a go. I have to have 500 hours viewed, so people watching my videos. So old ones, not so old ones, new ones, people watching it, and that all accumulates to 500 hours for the month of July. Then I can check off that one. And then I got to upload 30 shorts. That I think is doable too. So the unique raids, streaming 30 hours, I think I can do that. I definitely can do Rumble Premium content for 5 hours and then 30 shorts. So, oh, there she is. I'm going to highlight you. There you are. Haha. Thanks, Kim. You have been counted. I appreciate that. Now you can go back to YouTube if you want. So yeah, so that is what I'm trying to do. And as well as not just the Rumble Creator Program, but because the requirements are so steep for a channel like me, I've got to do this. But it also keeps me creating and painting and doing the stuff that I need to do to build up my body of work. So it's got positive aspects to it. It's just a very steep hill or steep mountain, perhaps, is what it's more like it. So what I'm going to do at this point is if you're watching on Rumble and you got Rumble Premium, nothing's going to change for you. I am going to switch over to Rumble Premium and start ticking off that requirement. And if you're watching from YouTube, that's not going to affect you either. So let's see if this works. Again, thanks for tuning in. You can, again, I'm about to switch over to Rumble Premium. But if you want to watch on YouTube, you can. Maybe Crazy Bear can put the YouTube link in the chat for me. That would be great. All of a sudden, I'm getting more people watching on Rumble. I see I've ticked up to 6 people. That's great. Welcome. I'm hoping you're premium members. I have to switch over to premium because I need to hit those requirements for the Rumble Creator Program. Again, if you want to continue watching, you're welcome to do that on the YouTube side because I am nowhere near monetization on YouTube, and I am casting to YouTube at the same time. So yeah, here we go. And yeah, Crazy Bear for You has put it in the chat, so there we go. And I've got the chat window for YouTube up, so I won't miss you. There we go. Now I'm in premium. Okay. So, anywho, I appreciate you watching. Either platform, either one. Like I said, this is twofold for me, and you know, I know I've been kind of beating a dead horse here, but it's hard to do artwork and talk at the same time. It's hard to also, you know, be the producer of my own live stream and talk and do artwork at the same time. So yeah, fun times, you know, but that's okay. I've always been a multitasker. And that hasn't changed. And I think the more that I do like this, even though it's disjointed and not necessarily as professional as it could be, I'm learning a lot. And I'm you know, it's either this or try to find a part-time job at a local establishment like the grocery store, if I can get in there, you know, for part-time work. I need to. I've got art. I want to make something of my art, and I'm doing all kinds of things. So if you're new and you're wondering what it is that I do for my art, I do a lot of stuff. I've actually invested thousands of dollars into a tent, so I can do tent events and sell prints that way. Oops, I need to go over to palette cam. Hold on, it's going to come back. There we go. So you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, I do that. I've got a website. I got a web store. I've got prints of all my artwork on my web store. So if you're wondering what that is, that's midliferartist.com. So yeah, I got that. I got originals. I'll be exhibiting. I've got artwork on exhibition in Calhoun, Georgia. So does my husband, as a matter of fact. And I'm going to be applying to exhibit artwork at the Creative Arts Guild as well in Dalton, Georgia for their Arts Fest. So I am trying all avenues. So, and I'm, you know, to do it part-time is extremely difficult. And still, you know, I'm trying to make my tribbles different colors. If you are a Star Trek fan and you're new to the stream tonight, I got tribbles. I got trouble with tribbles all over the thing because the tribbles are mounting an offense here on top of the Starfleet communicator, and so yeah, and then they're jumping off of my letter C, going wee, you know. So And it reminds me of the Gremlins, by the way. But anyway, I digress, don't I? But yeah, so I'm doing all kinds of stuff with my artwork. And they say, if you want to be successful, you've got to put in the work. And that is so, so true. And unfortunately, I only have part-time hours for this. So I am doing what I can. I got a tribble here, jumping on this peanut butter cookie. Got one down eating a crumb of the cookie. I got one reading a book. There's my tribble there. More of a blondie. There. I got trouble with tribbles. I love it. I love the tribbles. Okay, great. Great. So there's the YouTube channel. If you want to watch on YouTube, you're welcome to watch on YouTube. I gotta find where I put my YouTube. There it is. Okay. Oh gosh, yeah. I'll definitely do that. Yeah, I know you're up by you're closer to the Virginia border than you are to the southern border of Tennessee, right? You're in Tennessee. I think you're up along the route that I usually take to go up north. No, no bugs. We don't do bugs. Bugs are not allowed. I will definitely do that. So yeah. Um, let's see, what else am I doing here? A little bit of I'm not, again, I stopped talking only because I'm focused. Let's see here. Northeast tip of Tennessee, Bristol. Yeah, I go through Bristol on the way up north when I'm visiting work or my kids or both. So yeah, I go right through Bristol. Um, I don't have family and friends that close. I mean, well, I do have a friend there, but like family, like unless I do a stopover in Virginia because that's where my mom lives, and that's about halfway to where I usually end up going. Uh, so unless I had an extra day, I don't know if I'd ever really be able to stop that way, but I'd love to. But I'm usually on a time crunch because it's usually combined with a work trip as well. I don't know if I'll be able to take those anymore. Things are changing at my work, and I got to leave it in God's hands because it's got me scared. But God's always taken care of me, so I'm gonna just have to let it play out and see what happens, and do my best to stay as invaluable as I can. Because right now this is the best job I've ever had in terms of a day job. I don't like to talk about it online because that's not the place to talk about work. But let's just say things have we've had a shake up at work. You know, and that's one thing I didn't think I'd ever have to worry about really with 47 in office, but it's not always about who's president. Sometimes it's about who owns the company. So we'll see what happens. I'm sorry, I'm not looking up, but yeah, yes. And he's never failed me before, and he's not going to start now. That I know. So he's either going to preserve me through the hour of trial when it comes to my job, or he's going to shut the door and hopefully open another one quick. Because that's our primary income to keep this house going. So until our artistic endeavors come through, you know. So we'll see how things go. I've got time off scheduled for September. Hopefully to go meet my second grandson, who's going to be born at the very beginning of September. But I don't know. Let's see here. Trying to get the yellow ochre. The yellow ochre, of course, is a little bit more opaque than the rest of my watercolors in this set. But I'm trying to, I don't know why I can't get that to darken up. There we go. And then what I'll do is when I let that dry, I'll come in and darken the areas where it's more tightly coiled. And let the others be light where the light might hit them. So trying to see if that'll clear it up. It seems fuzzy. It seems fuzzy. Maybe what I need to do is add a little brightness. And then what I'll do is get some dark shading here and down on, you know, so because they're kind of piled up underneath that. All right. I don't know if I should paint the V letter and the E letter or leave them alone. I was hoping that the color around them would be sufficient. Let's see. The vase. Okay, so looking at the colors I have, maybe I should make the vase like purple. What do you think? Let's see here. Let's see here. I added way too much water to that. Yeah, now that's coming out too light. Let's see here. Trying to make this, you know, I don't know. What am I trying to make this? Can you tell I'm a little bit exhausted? I think I can tell when I sound exhausted anyway. But yeah, this week I'm going to apply to the Creative Arts Guild Art Fest event that happens in the middle of September. And it starts off with a weekend where there's creators, you know, with tents that are, and I'm going to do that this year. I haven't done that in the past, where, you know, I've set up a tent for their outside event, and that goes for 2 days. So I haven't done that before, and that's only because I haven't had enough artwork to fill the tent walls. Now I do. So that is my plan. Let's see here. Trying to get some more of this green to really pop. Again, I'm trying to control the amount of water I use because it will saturate this paper, and it is not watercolor paper. So I got to be careful. I think what will happen is if I go ahead and do that sky thing, and maybe I do it as a sphere, you know, and I might be more tactical with that offline. Let's see. Let's color in these small little books. Library books, the kind that you actually hold in your hands and you open and you flip the pages and read. And they smell wonderful because they're books. Am I coming across a little too librarian-ish? I've never been a librarian, but let me tell you, oh, I just dropped a big old drop of water on that. Shoot. You gotta be careful with your paintbrush. It likes to have a little drop of water, like right here, right there is a drop of water. It's gonna go right on my thing. I gotta watch that. Nothing like a book. Amen, sister. I love books. I love books. I love old-fashioned books. I love my old 1870s Bible that I have with the buckle enclosure, and it has over 1,000 etching artworks on it. And yeah, love it. Love our Bible that we have. Let's see here. I think that Mr. Tribble is going to be reading a green book. There he goes. He's reading a green book. My little Tribble guy. This Tribble is no trouble at all. That one is. He's jumping off of the thing. Yeah, I'll have to, I think I showed it on a previous live stream at one point. I can't remember which one though. But yeah, we bought it at a used bookstore in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, just before we moved. We had seen it the year before, but didn't have the money at the time to buy it. And we just hoped and prayed that it would still be there when we sold the house, because once we sold the house, we would have money. Obviously, we're going to use it to buy a house, but we were going to use some of it just to buy that Bible, and we did, because it was there a year later. And I said, yep, that's it. It's enormous, and it's beautiful. It's meant to be one of those family heirloom Bibles, and no one ever wrote in it. So it's ours, you know. And I love it. The etchings, the etching, I say etching, but it's prints of etchings that just are phenomenal. I mean, it's beautiful stuff, beautiful. So yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, it is a work of art. Absolutely. Absolutely is. Um, I'll have to show it to you. Right now I got stuff all around it that I don't think I can move while holding my palette cam in place. So I'll have to plan to show it on another live stream. All right, so I'm getting there with some of this. Like I said, I have to figure out a way to colorize this cookie. But the big bar, you know, of music, I have colored with this green, where before I didn't color it on this one. So I'm wondering, should I go with a green because there's not a lot of green, or should I leave it alone and just not color that? Part of me says leave it alone, especially considering we're gonna do like a skyscape in the background where the sun is setting over here. You got the nice sunset colors, and then the darker, slightly darker mid-tone blue into the dark night sky with stars. That's going to be a trick to do. Let's see here. I like how the vase turned out. I'll show that to you in just a second. Let me do palette cam. No. Cancel. It's still showing like it's working. I'll just leave that there because it's working. Even though I can't see it. But now you can see this better. Like I said, you can. All right. Yeah, I'm kind of going slow here. You can see. You see my treble. See the troublemaker? Whee! Yeah. So you see that's up close. You see how the vase turned out? That's not bad. And my little my little Tribble reading his book. Dun, 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 dun. There we go. And we got a snake. I gotta come in and kind of darken some of the coiled areas. I got my tribbles colored. So yeah. So if I get that background, sort of like that one, but all the way across, like I said and described, I think that'll really make this pop. So I just don't know if I should be coloring in the V and the E or leave it alone because there's typeset in there to kind of honor the authors and writers in our group. So yeah, I'm not sure if I should color this. Maybe I should like thicken the lines. What do you think? And maybe do a subtle color, something like a shimmery white or something. I don't know. And then I think I'm going to come in with one of my silver pens and or something like that and write over the writing to make it look like maybe it's glowing. I'm not sure yet. So yeah, my cookie's problematic. Every time I try to drop paint in there, it wants to mix with the black here. So I might take colored pencils to that. There we go. Yeah. Funny, my screen is not on my phone. It's not showing up. I'm not sure why, but there we go. Do that. My my camera arm is a little wonky. But yeah, so far it's coming along. I just don't know what to do about that. Maybe I do. If I do this, it's done. So I got to be careful. Let's see here. I'm going to do right on the here. All right, so what if I start, thickened these lines a little bit. Because I almost don't notice them for everything else going on around them. And maybe I just don't color this. And like I said, I want this to be base white, and I don't want to interfere with that. Oh, it's a little thicker now. Okay, well, have a good night, Kim. Have a great night. Thank you for dropping in, sweetheart. Get up early in the morning. I know you do. So get some rest, sweetie. And we'll talk to you tomorrow, okay? Sweet dreams, friend. Let's see here. Yeah, that is not turning out so bad. Hmm. So not bad, not finished, but not bad, I have to say. But yeah, this I gotta come in, I think, with slightly darker color here to really get this ring to pop. So let's see if I can do that. And then let's see. Oh, yeah, I'll have to come in after the fact and try to bring in that lettering on this ring with some sort of shimmery brightness somehow. I can figure that out. But yeah, so once this is dry, I can then try to do that sky. Typically you do the background first and then you do the foreground, but that's not happening with this one. Did I drop another? Let's see here. We're going to do get a dark brown. Try to get some of these to be dark. Yeah, trouble with tribbles. Love the tribbles. Should I leave that star in the transmitter white or should I go with a dark color? Yeah, that's just not going to turn out, not with watercolor. I'm going to have to do something different with the cookie. All right. I wonder if I should color in this text bubble. Or if I should, well, if I leave it alone and I paint around it, then I think it'll be okay. It'll pop better. I just got to get that background painted. I think this will really light up, so to speak, when I get the background painted. Black for the star. Okay, well, I don't have a black, but I can make something similar to that. A brown and the dark blue is as close to black as I can get. And I got quite a lot on that brush. I don't need that much. Okay, so let's see. Of course, I could have done it with ink, I guess. But since I'm painting tonight, we will do it in paint. There we go. Well, it's definitely coming along. So I'm pretty pleased with how it's turning out. I'm being slow and deliberate, but the hardest part will be putting that background in without touching the rest of the color. So I think what I'll do is I'll let it sit and dry completely before I even try that. And then I also have to figure that out. So we'll see. And then maybe I'll sign my name down here in the white space, kind of balance it out. So, but we're close to the I guess I can stop with the chat overlay because I don't have anyone chatting in Rumble at the moment. So, and that's okay. Yeah. Well, I got it. I got a reasonable facsimile of the black. So that, and I do need to get some dark, dark area, shadowy areas figured out so that this snake is resting on a surface. And so I gotta do that. Let's see here. So yeah, I'm gonna, before I round out tonight, I got a couple more minutes. I'm gonna try to get some of these tight areas and these areas here darkened so that it's in shadow and that sets it in space. So let's see here. A little dark. It's gonna come across a little. I got a hair or something coming off of this. There we go. Let's see here. Yeah, so if I get some of this darkened here, that'll kind of register that it's on a surface of some kind. Let's see. Excuse me. That kind of snuck up on me. Let's see here. Got too much water. All right. Yeah, I think I'm going to let this dry now the way it is, and then I'm going to come back on another night, maybe not on live stream, but and get that sky painted in that I want to do, and go from there. And maybe that's all I need to do to finish this off. So not too bad. Like I said, more touch-ups needed, and then the background, and then we'll see where it goes from there. It may be finished with that background. We'll see. But so yes, if you've hung out with me tonight and lurked in the background, great. Thank you. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Thank you for your support. You can always support me at midliferartist.com. I have a page where you can donate, or you can even buy prints and get something for your money, which is, a print of my artwork, or my artwork if you bought my artwork, the originals. So all that's available on my site at midliferartist.com. And I keep a blog there. I don't populate it too much, so it's no spam. It's not spammy. It's whenever I can get to it. One woman crew here. So, but yeah, and I do live stream every Wednesday night for free. I won't change my Wednesday nights. Those are going to be free at 8 o'clock to 9:30 on Wednesday nights. That's my normal. But anything outside of that is going to be going towards the Rumble requirements, which is these things. These are the requirements being in the Rumble Creator Program. I'm a really small channel, so if you're watching, please help out. Like, subscribe, share. I need lots of watch hours on my stuff. So if you're interested in progress type videos or live streams or what have you, I have a lot of that. And so, yeah, it would be really great to hit some of these milestones and stay in the creator program and see what it means for all the work that gets put into trying to stay in this program. There needs, the payoff. Is it commensurate with the effort? I don't know. And I won't know unless I try. And if I do try and it is commensurate, then that's the income I was hoping to get as my art being part-time. So, I'm trying a lot of different venues. This is just one of them. So yeah, I appreciate you watching, the support. And I'll do this some more this month and see what happens, right? So I'm going to go ahead and try to raid another live stream. Not that anyone's going to think, oh, great, Stephanie's raiding us. No, that's going to work out well. I don't know if that's even going. This doesn't seem like it's going. No. Or is it? Oh, no, I'm not doing that guy. No. No, 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 no. Oh, yeah. No, him I would. But let's see here. I'm going to try. Okay, so we'll do, I don't know. I think I did Tim last time. We'll do Real America's voice. That's an easy peasy one. we'll do that. We'll raid it because I need to do a raid. Rumble Studio. We will do raid. Confirm. So we're going to raid one Real America's Voice. So if you joined in, thank you. Say hello to the chat in Real America's Voice. And that concludes 1 of 5 raids on my requirements. All right, everybody. So thanks again. You see my stuff streaming at the bottom of my screen. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you have a wonderful night. See you next time I'm up. And it looks like it's counting down till we raid the stream. But this is my goodbye for the night. Have a great 4th of July weekend. And I'll definitely see you next Wednesday.